Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Photo sharing discussion number 227. Nia, I guess this is the, for those of us that pay a little bit of attention to NCAA, or those of us that care, I guess it's the busted bracket edition, because as happens every year, the brackets get all shot to hell, and teams upsets and all that type of stuff. So I know mine's pretty much, no, not completely done, but my I just found out, I picked Michigan State to win it all, and they just got beat. So they're not going to win it all. And then there was a big upset. You don't follow basketball at all, do you, Wes? Yeah.
I follow the Gators, but yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, there was a huge upset with University of Maryland, Baltimore County. A number 16 seed beat Virginia, number 1 seed. And that was the first time in 30 years that a number 16 has beat a first seed. And that was completely unexpected, but they did it in style. They totally dominated it. It was a great game to watch, but that blew up a lot of that ruined a lot of people's hopes for fame and fortune, I guess, by winning the bracket. But yeah, we're here almost pretty much the end of March at this point. So getting into spring. Are you guys pretty much, is your pollen season done at this point, or are you still kind of?
We're still getting some, but I think it's on the downturn. It's not as bad as it was.
Okay. Yeah.
A week or so ago.
Okay. Yeah. You had all the. You have a lot of pine pollen down there, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
The yellow. Yeah. And we're just starting. I just noticed that we're starting to get that here in the last few days. So, but that's actually not the stuff that makes it. It really doesn't affect your allergies too much. It's just ugly because it's that yellow, big yellow pollen. So we've got about another month or so, probably by end of April, mid to end of April, we'll be done with it. But spring is here, and I did buy some new equipment this week. I'll get it next week, I'm hoping.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep. So, well, new old equipment, I guess. So, how's it going, Joe?
Okay, man.
Good.
Joe's drowning in pollen, I'm sure, too.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Exactly.
Yeah. Pollen? What's that?
Oh, pollen. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And
do you guys really have I guess you have a season where things bloom more than others, I guess. But
oh, are you kidding? It's a huge allergy season.
Okay.
Yeah. In the desert, you bet, man. New Mexico was bad for it.
Yeah.
And,
all the Phoenix sage, all that stuff. Yeah.
Juniper, man. If you have any sort of allergy to juniper, man, even if you don't, like those last couple of years in New Mexico, I don't have allergies, and it was so bad that it was even affecting me those last couple of seasons in New Mexico. Yeah. That's
what got Pam was the not the juniper, but the tumbleweed. Is that sage? I guess sagebrush.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know exactly because I don't have allergies. But man, there's there's people that you leave the humidity because whatever reason, and then you come out here and you find out you've got a whole host of other allergies you didn't realize you had.
Yeah. It's, I guess everywhere pretty much has it. I mean, we're known for it down here in the Southeast with all the the humidity and all the stuff that's blooming. So we're kind of in the middle of it now. But even out in the desert, there's allergies. So
oh yeah, man, because you get all kinds of different things growing in years just because it's so it can get so windy, and it's windy right now outside. Not like Albuquerque though. New Mexico was definitely more windy than Phoenix.
Okay, yeah. There's wind was almost always blowing in Albuquerque to some degree or another.
Yeah.
And Farmington too. I just remember that, and that's what Pam said too. Growing up, I mean, there was always some wind. I mean, it's just the way it is. Yeah. Whereas here, if we get more than like a 10-mile-an-hour wind, they consider it a high wind day. So it's complete opposite. So yeah, well, we're here to show 227 end of March. I'll run through the question. Well, Dennis isn't here to ask Wes the ultimate question, but I think I know what the answer probably is.
Actually, I finished it yesterday.
Oh my gosh, no!
Yeah. And he's not here.
But there's bad news. I don't have anywhere to develop it now because my local store closed.
Oh, well, that just means you got to buy stuff and develop. Well, okay, well, that's good for another year. You've got
right. So
done,
now
but you
Dennis is
still haven't
going to have
developed
to ask me if I've developed it yet. Yeah.
Yeah. Ah. Yeah.
Yeah, now it's just going to be, have you developed it? Have you developed it? Have you?
Ah, man. So your local store closed, huh? That's too bad.
Yeah.
Did the guy just retire? And
I don't know exactly what the story. I think they were just not doing enough business there.
mm-hmm.
They were kind of back in an industrial park, and they were trying to just cater to the professionals, and there's just not enough around this area to do that. I don't think.
Yeah, not enough volume to justify it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can either get the stuff and develop your own, or you can send it off to someplace. I use the Darkroom. They're out of California. They're pretty. What are they? I think they may do $8. $8 for. Is it color? Yeah, it is color, isn't it?
It's black and white.
That's black and white. It might be $8. It's not terrible.
Yeah.
And I've always had good results with them. They get stuff turned around pretty quick. I mean, you'll probably get it back in a week. If you send it out on a Monday, you'll have it back by that next Monday probably. It gets done. But yeah, well now's your incentive. You can get the equipment and develop your own film now.
Yeah, I've got some of it. I got a couple tanks and I got a changing bag, so I wouldn't need too much more.
No, you would just need a tank or a reel that will hold a 4x5 width. That's all you need. Probably is just a.
Well, it's 120.
Oh, it's 120. Yeah, not 4x5, but 120. So yeah, if you've got do you have one of the reels? Is it adjustable or do you have?
Yeah, I got some Patterson tanks.
Okay. Yeah. So you just adjusted the width of the reel and you're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Okay. Well, you're halfway there. You got the film done, and it's only took like a year and a half almost.
Hey. Oh.
No, it's not even been a year yet. I put it in June of last year,
Okay.
May or June.
Okay.
So it's just about 10 or 11 months now.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
Okay. Well, you're halfway there. So, and what did you use when you were you out in the wetlands or when you were in St. Pete?
We were at Honeymoon Island and off the shore of St. Pete kind of area near Clearwater.
Mm.
It's one of the barrier islands in the Gulf.
Okay.
So did you literally just fire off one shot and put the camera away, or did you like change film?
No, there was actually two left, so I just went ahead and took two different shots. So, I was doing some landscape stuff and just decided to pull it out and finish it off there.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Good. Well,
threw it on the tripod and fired it off. Just did Sunny 16. I didn't even meet her.
No. Yeah. Black and white.
It was full sunlight. I was like, F16 shutter speed the same as the ISO.
Yeah.
Finish it off.
It'll be close enough to get you a decent enough exposure you can fit all around with if you need to in Lightroom or whatever, and get it to come out good. Okay, well, good. Well, there you did some, and you've posted some images to the group, which is good. So you actually got a fair amount of photography.
Yeah, I posted a bunch.
Yeah,
a bunch this week period on my main Flickr page, and I've got a lot more to go through still.
Okay,
this week.
Cool.
So.
It looks like you're at the Sweetwater Park, and then some stuff over when you're out out along the coast, huh? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. That's very good. All right, Joe. Here's a big question. How about you? Any photography this week?
No.
No. Okay.
Easy enough. No. I instead of buying the strobe, I went ahead and bought a ceiling fan that was the same money. So Amazon, I've had all this stuff in my cart for like probably a year.
Mm-hmm.
Amazon finally lowered the price on that ceiling fan.
Oh, okay.
$25. So I went ahead and ordered it.
Okay. Yeah. So will that be the last ceiling fan you need for the house?
You know what? I got as many ceiling fans as I bought. I still need 2 more for the back patio.
Okay.
I have 2 more, what do you call them? the builder installed
You
those.
just got the box there with the wires. Yeah. Okay.
The ceiling fan pre-wire. So, but that's not, once it gets hot enough where you need ceiling fans, I'm like, oh yeah, look at it outside.
Yeah.
From the AC, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah. Okay. Well, okay. So you're making progress there. So the strobes are going to have to wait a little bit. Okay.
yeah, it is. I've got a tentative amateur model set up for 2 weeks. We'll see.
Okay.
It's just all kind of penciled in sort of thing. You know what I'm saying? It's really tentative, but
okay.
Hopefully.
All right.
Keep on it.
Well, good. I didn't do any photography, but I did finally buy the 90 millimeter lens. So I should get that.
You find a good deal and just jumped on it, or
I've been searching on a little bit of both. I mean, I've been kind of following the prices, and I found one on eBay, and a Fuji 90 millimeter f8. And it was just under $300, and that's about the price. I mean, the prices have gone up. The lens prices have gone up compared to what they were last year. They've probably gone up by about 20% for generally same condition lenses. Because I take a look at the lens I got last year, the 135, and it was, what did I pay for mine? I think I paid like 180, I think I paid like 175 or 180, and now the same basic lens is going for 200, 220. So they're starting to go up, and the wide angle lenses are always more expensive. They've always been more expensive than I guess the normal length lens.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know why, but f8 is the least expensive one. I could have gotten an 5.6 or f4.5, but those would have been, $700, $600 or $700, and I'm like, that's not gonna happen. That's a lot. So hopefully I get the lens next week. It's coming from Japan, so so it should be. A lot of times stuff gets from there faster than it does from California. So I mean, it's just showing. It should show up like between the 19th and the 22nd, which is tomorrow and Wednesday, or Monday through Thursday. So,
if I count, I don't know if it really. I guess it does count, but I do order female wardrobe. You know what I'm saying? So I did have a couple of outfits come in that I do use as wardrobe for the girls. So I don't know if that counts as photography gear, but yeah, I did.
Okay, no, that's a prop. Yeah, I mean,
it's like different dresses.
Okay.
It's kind of crazy because I don't buy clothes for myself, and I buy clothes for these girls, and on wardrobe, female wardrobe, and then I trade quite a bit for. Models and different things.
Oh yeah, no, I mean that's part of the gear you need. I mean it really is
tax deductible. So
and if you want, you can go out and go out a night on the town in a nice dress and heels if you want. I mean,
right? Yeah, exactly. Right, a nice little two-piece outfit. Yeah,
Okay, well, yeah, that's all part of it. I mean, you gotta have the props and the stuff for the models. I mean,
it helps.
It's kind of like buying filters for your lens. You kind of need that stuff to make it work. So yeah, good.
It can help. It's I have different little things like extra hair dryer, curling iron, just little things like that kind of help. By the way, there's 19 to go here in Auto Club 400 in California. There.
Oh, okay, yeah. So waiting for the NASCAR update. So who's leading?
Truex Jr. 78.
Oh, okay. So are they in Southern California or Northern California?
Southern. Yeah.
Southern. Okay. So LA area.
Yeah. Yeah. They're that Kyle Larson. He's coming up too, man. So he's a young kid. He's damn sure making his mark. He's doing good. He's doing pretty good.
Cool. Yeah, I've been watching. I watched. No, I haven't watched NASCAR this year. I've been getting stuck watching. I started watching a show on. I think it was Amazon. Called F1 Driver.
Yeah.
It was a documentary about like the 2015 or something, the McLaren F1 team and how they were trying to, kind of get back to winning form and that type of thing. And then they finished watching that, and then it's like people who watch this also watch this. And then there was one called Le Mans.
Yeah.
So I started watching that, and that was about the 24-hour of Le Mans and kind of teams that were trying to get in there. So it was Nissan, Toyota, a couple other teams, and kind of walking through doing that. And then that led to watching The Man Le Mans, which was a documentary about Steve McQueen and the movie he did in 71 or 72 called Le Mans. I watched that. So I've been watching all this sports car racing.
Wow.
Which is really cool. There's so much history there. It's just
that's the one we were talking about last week, and I had watched part of that F1 series you were talking about because it was in 4K.
Yep. And so I've been getting down, and I've found a couple other ones. I watched one that was a thing about the Ford, the new GT that they came out in 2016, and that was the 50th anniversary of their first one at Le Mans back in 1966, and they were trying to get the new car out and run at Le Mans and hopefully win, and they did. So that was kind of cool. So lots of.
I just finished a Netflix series, a documentary. Let me see if I can find it. It was about it's called Wild Wild Country.
Okay.
This one, it's about, I don't know, you could call it a cult or something, but it was in the early 80s. And they moved to Oregon, out there in the middle of nowhere in Oregon, from India.
Okay.
And it's a trip, man, because there was all this controversy about it, and it was big enough, and I'm like, I don't remember any of this stuff, and it happened pretty much through the 80s.
That was they had all the stuff. Yeah. People up in Idaho and
I guess they moved from India to Oregon, like just a couple of years after that Jonestown deal had all went down.
Okay.
So, there was a lot of little paranoia about it and stuff like that, and it turned out to be a pretty interesting little documentary. But right now Netflix has some pretty decent stuff. There was that other one that I told you about.
Yeah, The Falling Man, which I've got on the list and I haven't watched yet. I think I'm going to watch that this week.
I like that one because it was based on photography.
Yeah, there was kind of a photography focused.
Yeah.
It's
based on, well, it was 9/11, but it was based on that photo of the man falling from the Twin Towers there.
Yeah. I do need to watch that. That looks to be pretty interesting. But yeah, I mean, there's so much stuff out there. It's just incredible. I mean, I really didn't pay too much attention to all the streaming stuff because I really didn't do much streaming. But then when I basically got rid of cable, now you pull up and there's so much stuff. Yeah, so many shows. It's absolutely incredible.
It's kind of funny because once you make that move, see, I'm already 3 years into this thing, and stuff happens all the time now locally, and I'm so detached from it because the only time I'll get any sort of commercials or any sort of like even a glimpse of something local sometimes is like right now when I'm watching sports. But those are mostly national sort of things, so you're not necessarily getting a lot of local stuff in there. But I didn't get a chance to watch. I got so wrapped up in that series last night. I didn't watch any basketball. So
yeah. Well, we get a couple of local channels through DirecTV now, and we still have the bare minimum cable, which is like $10 a month, which gets us 4 local channels. But that's all we get. And we watch that a little bit, but still 90% of what we watch is streaming. So no real commercials or anything like that. So
there was and I should have mentioned it on the Share Beer last night, but I forgot. But another subject I wanted to talk about with kids is this. I overheard a conversation, and these guys were talking about their kids and how their kids don't even know what commercials are, because they literally only watch stuff that's downloaded or YouTube.
Yeah.
So they watch. I forget what the one guy was saying. His daughter was watching something, and she was just like so into the commercials because she had never been exposed to them before. I think he said his daughter was 9 or 10 or something like that. She was just like, "Oh my God, I want that! I want that!" He was like, "No more commercials for you, man!" Because
that is true for streaming. Although they get a lot of ads on social media, but it's different than a commercial, I guess. A traditional commercial.
The way it's thrown at you is completely different. I've even kind of questioned why I have DirecTV now, but the minute sports come on, then I'm like, oh yeah, that's why. Because I don't even open that app. I work too much. I don't have time. So it's like, and then live TV, to me, like live TV is like, oh my God, I better want to watch something because I am not going to put up with commercials. I have like low tolerance for commercials. I don't know about you guys, but
yeah. I'm getting a lower and lower tolerance for them now that I don't see as many of them.
Yeah.
But then if you didn't watch commercials, then you'd miss classics like the Dilly Dilly commercials and all that type of stuff. I mean,
Well, that's where the sports catches me up on that stuff, especially football season. Once football season comes, and that's why the major networks are putting all their investments into sports, because it's virtually the only thing people watch live anymore.
Yeah, it is. That's true. Just about anything. Everything else is streaming or something like that. But live sports is about it, pretty much.
Hey Wes, how's your personal documentary deal going? Have you got started on that? Or
No, I haven't done anything on that one yet.
Yeah, that could be a long.
It's going to be a very long project.
Yeah, it takes some time. So, have you identified how many different? Maybe I asked this last week, but how many different camera models are there? I mean, how many different versions are there of that line?
I put out a couple every year, and it's been 30 years, so probably 100 different ones.
Yeah,
30, right? It's at least 30 at a minimum, right?
You could do. Have you thought about doing? What'd be interesting would be doing like a podcast with that. And each episode would be a camera. You could talk about each camera model, and that would be interesting. But there's so much there. I'm interested to see where you go with that, because that's definitely is a.
Yeah, I'll probably dive in deep on like specific cameras in other videos, but just the general overall video is going to be more general, and then as I find different cameras and different lenses, I'll probably do videos on specific things then.
Yeah, that's interesting. There's a guy. He's a local radio talk show guy, and he does. He's starting a podcast. He's huge into Gene Wilder, and he's doing a podcast where they're going to go through every Gene Wilder movie minute by minute.
Wow!
So it's like in minute 1, here's what happened. Let's talk about it. And minute, so he's going to go. They're going to go, and apparently there's podcasts that do that. I haven't run across, like other actors or comedians or whatever, where they'll do a podcast where they'll break down the movie minute by minute and talk about it. So episode 1 might be the first 5 minutes of Young Frankenstein or something. Episode 2 would be the next 5 minutes.
That's just, there's some, how into Seinfeld I get, and there's some cats that make Seinfeld.
There's got to be a Seinfeld podcast like that, I would think.
There's a couple of them. One seems to be head of the pack, and these guys know stuff about Seinfeld. Well, and they're young. Like, it amazes you how many young Seinfeld fans there are. It amazes me, at least. But I mean, these guys are fairly, youngish, and their knowledge on Seinfeld, and they get so far into it, they get into the other TV series that are, knockoffs of Seinfeld, if you will.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, any kind of product or TV series or particular person that has a portfolio of work that they've done or products that have been built. I mean, there's just so much material to go as in depth as you want to go. So
yeah, they get it. I guess, and I never really thought about it before, but I guess there is a difference. But there's the Larry David Seinfeld guys, and then there's guys like me who could really give a rip. I just like Seinfeld. I don't care who wrote it per se, but there's your hardcore Larry David guys.
Oh yeah, that follow everything he's ever done.
Right.
And, yeah, no, it's like any. I mean, it's like photography. People are just into it. They like taking pictures with their camera, and then there's people like us that are kind of in the middle, and then there's people that are totally, that spend their whole day pixel peeping, and determining the diffraction ratio of one lens filter over another when you look at, an image blown up 28 times, It's like, well, see, pixel number 1848387 is blurry. And on this other lens, it wasn't blurry.
Well, I would say it's kind of, you have your hardcore Canon, Nikon sort of people. You have your hardcore, Micro Four Thirds now, mirrorless guys. You have your hardcore
Sony guys.
Yeah. And then another level is, okay, we're getting past the bodies now, and now we're into the lenses. You have your hardcore people that only use primes. People like me that don't mind using a zoom. You know what I'm saying? Like they're fanatics about every little level of photography for sure. Film is another. That's still a thing.
The film versus digital, and all the stuff that goes with that. Yeah, I mean, so and it's anything, but yeah, you can go as wide as you want, or just be as focus on every little detail too. I mean, there's such a wide range. I mean, you get people photographers that'll do projects, where they'll do a photography project where they'll get so minute in what they're trying to document or do that. I mean, they could spend, like people that would probably do, you could easily do a photography project where you would do, a particular object or whatever every day over the course of a year, and see what the differences are. Or, street photography, there's street photographers that kind of do a project based on, they go to the same corner on the street every day and document what's there. I mean, so you could just go as in depth or not, which is always fun. So, speaking of in depth, let's go in depth into some images. How about that?
I like the images of the of your meat, Mark.
Oh yes, do you like that? That's some big meat.
That's some nice thick meat, man.
That was the craft beef. That was
and so you sous vide that and then seared it.
Yep, I did an hour and 45 minutes at like 130 degrees, and then seared it. And I mean, it was medium rare. I mean, it's definitely, almost mood when you stuck the fork in it. I mean, that was warm all the way through, but definitely medium rare. But that thing was like 4 inches thick.
It was thick.
Yeah, we only ate a third of it, and we still got, so we got 2 more dinners out of it probably. So, and it was really good. I mean, it was very good beef, and it did have a slightly sweet flavor to it, which they claim is from the they feed the cow the spent grains from breweries. So,
that's the meat that you got.
Yeah,
Oh.
that was that one. Yeah, or they're grass fed. Kind of free range grass fed, and then they before they then they, instead of going to a traditional feedlot or whatever, they feed them grain finished off with grains, when the grains are just the spent brewers grains.
So what was your thoughts on it? Was it
the meat was very, very tender, real flavorful, and it did have a slight sweetness to it. So, and it was good. It was definitely has a unique flavor. It's different than all grass fed. The last batch of beef we got from this Crowd Cow place was all grass fed. So it was grass fed and grass finished. So it's just whatever was naturally around. And that had a little, not gamier, but it was a little, not as, it was a little stronger flavor without being sweet, if that makes sense.
More beefy? More
yeah, it was more beefy, and it had
like a leathery, more of a leather, not texture, but I mean,
no, it's more like almost like venison a little bit, gamey, but not really.
Just more of a heartier taste.
Yeah, it was a little heartier taste, and that can be just depending on the grass that they fed, that they consume. So it's interesting, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely good. It's good beef. It's definitely higher priced beef. I mean, I don't know what that steak was. It was probably a $35 steak, but I mean, to get something like that in a restaurant that'd be $100 easy.
Oh man, yeah, that was a huge chunk of meat right there, man.
Yeah, and it was enough we had dinner, and we've got enough for probably another dinner for the both of us, and then a couple, then a lunch each. So works out good. But yeah, the sous vide and salt block combo comes through again. It's an amazing combination. Gives a really tasty.
Salt block, man, is just amazing, and it's not much money to really.
Oh no, that was $12. I mean, we've used it like 15 times already, and there's no major, there's some cracks and stuff in it, but it's not broken all the way through. I mean, that thing will probably last another, 15 or 20 times. So for $12, you can, you get 20 or 30 uses at least, and when it breaks, then you just grind it up.
There's no loss. It's just salt.
Full flavored salt,
Yeah.
So
yeah, it'll probably be an amazing seasoning once you grind it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
Although I am noticing the bottom, because we put it on a gas burner, so the bottom, we always use the same side, against the flame. So that's getting not charred, but it's very it still tastes like salt, but it's not as flavorful as it was, and I think it's just, some of the minerals are just getting burned out of it almost by, being put under that gas flame for, it's probably been under basically a full blast gas flame for 4 or 5 hours at this point between all the uses like that.
I mean, it's thick enough where you could just scrape off that whole layer.
Oh yeah.
It might be a 1/16 of an inch or so. I mean, you scrape off that whole layer and
and just take some steel wool, and that's what I use to clean. I just take steel wool and put a little bit of water on the surface and wipe it a little bit with the steel wool, wipe it down with the water, and it's good. Yeah.
But what about you, Wes? Do you get into have you shot any like still life, any sort of like? I've been thinking about doing that. I'm just I'm having a hard time mentally with shooting models and stuff again. I'm trying to save some money. I've been thinking about shooting, I don't know, setting up food or
yeah, you got this. You got the stuff for it. Your lighting, lighting is lighting. You just got to get it aimed in the right direction, kind of thing.
I got to get enough. reflectors and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, you could do with all the cooking, you know, your cast iron cooking and that type of stuff. I mean, you get some good images. You know, I mean, you get good stuff just with your phone. I mean, that's all I'm ever doing. It comes out pretty good, but man, you put some good lighting and stuff around it, you get a really good result, I would think.
Yeah,
I think there's money in that too if you get good at it. We were at an art show a couple months ago, and we were talking to some people. These people who are selling these sort of like things you hang on your patio that the light bounces off of and everything, and they're sort of very colorful things. And they were said they had paid this photographer a bunch of money to take pictures, and they still weren't happy with them. So, you know, I think there's people out there who could really, you know, if you're good at product photography, they could really use that service.
Yeah, because I do run into people that have, and I've done it in the past. Shot some, you know, still life or, you know, product photography, but man, it is definitely an art. It's definitely,
yeah.
I've run into people that sell jewelry. For some reason, I'm always around people that sell jewelry. You know, with a lot of Indians and stuff being around. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you could get connected with some of those, because a lot of them are just independent artists, and so you make a relationship with a few of them and offer to do their product photography. You know, that's probably, and you can do it at a rate that's very competitive. That gives them a much better result than they're going to get with their phone or their cameras. And you know, and I'm sure I don't know how the pricing structure works, but I imagine you could probably even negotiate, you know, a percentage of the sale. You know, kind of like an auction house of the car. You know, it's like I'll photograph your jewelry here, and you know, I'll take 5%.
That's one thing I need to talk to Pat about again. I need to give him a buzz and you know, have him hook me up on different little things now that I do have real weekends. You know, I could get up on a Saturday and knock some stuff out. And now I can't go to that one show that pretty much happens every weekend, every other weekend in Scottsdale, because it happens the same time as the Share Beer.
Oh, okay. The Cars and Coffee or whatever that is, or whatever.
Well,
not Cars and Coffee, but
there's another one. It's the Rock and Roll Car Show.
Okay. But yeah, now you've got some weekends now, so you can find get the opportunity to go some more car shows and that type of thing. Yeah, and if you could hook up with Pat and you could be his assistant, you know. Get in and
of course. So yeah, I mean, you know, why not? You know. So yeah, well, I'm sure we'll hook up again. He's kind of mentioned it, but you know, he gets so busy. So,
yeah. And when he's busy, he's busy.
He's busy, man. I yeah. His photo shoots just blow me away, man. I don't even know what to say, because I don't that he just shoots forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't you find it hard to stay focused that long? Like even 3 or 4 hours out shooting, man, you feel like it's been all day, especially if you're in the sun and everything.
Oh yeah, no, and even just go out on a photo walk with a group of other group of photographers, and you're out specifically to photograph for a few hours. Yeah, it does. It takes a lot, because you're always looking for, trying to be creative in whatever you see, and that takes energy. It really does.
You know, and then you have these like ups and downs of moments of excitement and adrenaline because you see it. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, oh, I got to get it this, you know, and I got to shut up. I got to get it. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're like,
yep.
You know,
and it is draining. I mean, anything that's a creative, I think, is something that can only, for most people, can only be done in short bursts, because it's just so much, that the mood has to be right. You have to be in the right frame of mind, and even then seems like most people can only do it for a little while, and then they, you know, if they're writers, they can only write for a certain number of hours per day, and then they get writer's block and they can't do it anymore, and they just have to go away from it and come back. And I found out with, you know, photography, even at the minimal level I'm doing it, I mean, it's just, yeah, you know, you can only be serious about it for a while, and then then you can't because your brain just stops working that way, and you got to take a break and come back to it. So yeah, I don't know how he does it for 12 hours, although I would imagine there's a fair amount of downtime, you know, when they're moving cars around and setting stuff up. So maybe he uses that as a way to kind of flush out everything and kind of refocus.
I don't know, man. It's when you're there with them, man, it's something else. Because even in those moments, there's not much.
Yeah, there's always something going on, I would imagine.
There's not, you know, that's when he's getting his shots of them moving the car around. You know what I'm saying? Like and when he's on, man. It's you know, for me, it's like I'll work with him that one day, and he's got 2 or 3 more. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Or already have shot a day before. Now he's got, you know, the next day, and then edit.
Yeah, no, it takes. That's a special talent. I mean, not everybody, and you know, everybody thinks, oh, I got a pro level camera, so now I can take just as good as the pros.
Right.
And you know, that the equipment helps, but you've got to have that the creativity. You've got to have the eye for seeing things a certain way, and then you've got to have the energy and the focus and everything that goes into that, and that just doesn't happen just because you have a nice camera. So, it's harder than it looks. Yeah. Everything is always harder than it looks.
Yeah.
The pros make it look easy.
Yeah, that's.
If it was easy, everybody would do it. Right?
Everybody tries. Yeah, it's, you know.
Everybody tries to do it. So speaking of guys trying to make good images, we can get another one here from Simi.
Oh, is this?
Yeah. This is spilling over. This is one of his fall shots. Upper Thundering Brook Falls, Killington, Vermont. Beautiful. Good stuff. I love that orange and that mix of the orange and yellow and the greens. And that one side almost has no leaves. The other side is, that's kind of neat. And how long was the image? Oh, just 2 seconds.
What?
Yeah.
And only 74 groups. This
Yeah.
guy's lacking.
That's
You know, maybe he's like Tiger Woods. He's got to kind of ease back into it.
yeah. You just don't want to strain too much. Man. Yeah, another great shot. That is beautiful. And here we go. Okay, Sweetwater.
Yep.
Great blue heron. Yep. This is with your wide angle with your 20 mil. Oh no, 6. Okay.
Yeah.
This is a 20 millimeter lens. Yeah.
Yeah, it's wide, all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 640. So how far away were you from the bird at this point?
Oh, 60 yards maybe.
Okay. So pretty good distance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got him right as he was landing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You got 1 foot in the water, the other one going in. Yeah.
Yeah, it almost looks like he's kind of easing into the water.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Oh, that water's cold.
Cold, yeah.
I got another series that I haven't edited yet of him catching a fish, eating
cool.
it. So that'll be coming.
Yeah, that's nice. The colors are great. The water. Yep, that's.
And I got an annual pass for my birthday, so I'll be going there much more now.
Oh, yeah.
Annual pass to Sweetwater or all the state parks?
To Sweetwater.
Okay. Yeah, that's nice. You don't have to worry about paying the daily fee every time you go in.
Right.
Yeah. Well, as much as you go, I mean, you're going. It seems like you're going at least once a week. I mean, if you can, you know.
No, I probably go once or twice a month. Really.
Okay.
I don't go that often, but I'll be going more often now.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You go more. You know, I've literally got a little wildlife preserve down the street almost, man. I mean, it's got to be maybe 10 minutes away.
Mhm.
And I never go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I need to start
Yeah.
getting out more.
Before it gets too hot, you need to go check it out.
Right, exactly. Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder what's there in like mid-July, Joe. You go check it out.
Yeah, you know, I have no idea what's even in the area. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Don't get out. I need to. It's very irresponsible.
You're a responsible photographer.
Yeah.
You got all that good equipment and you're not using it. Come on. Get out
Yeah,
there.
I mean, it kind of is, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
it's
You do.
like,
Don't you? Yeah, you kind of get to the point where you kind of feel bad. You're guilty. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, I got good stuff. I got good equipment. I mean, I know I feel that way. I haven't gotten out with my really any camera in a couple months. I'm like, God, I really need to get out with it.
yeah, it's just
I feel bad having, you know.
Yeah, you
having
spend all
it
this
and
money on the gear,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and then it just gets like, you know, I don't really want to go anymore.
This is a great shot, Wes. He's a young guy. Wow.
Yeah, he's pretty small.
He's got that fur or it's just like that real wiry.
Yeah, they're wild horses, so they're not groomed or anything.
Mm-hmm.
They're how they are.
How many what's the population of them there? They have a pretty good size.
I don't know exactly how many. I mean, this group that seems to be showing up at the wetlands there in the afternoon is like 5 in total.
Neat.
You know, Florida and Arizona have a lot of some things in common like that, because we have wild horses out here as well.
Mm-hmm.
I finally went up north to the Prescott Valley.
Mm-hmm. I saw that.
And they have a lot of wild horse signs. I was like, what are all these donkey signs out here? You know what I'm saying? But they're for wild horses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty beautiful. But
yeah, no, it is neat to see them. So they eat grass and whatever. So there's plenty for them to eat there.
Yeah, they like that short grass. They come up and graze on it.
Yeah, that's neat.
So it's tough to get a picture of them not eating too. That's the hardest part, is waiting for them to stop eating and move.
Lift their head up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. A lot of patience.
Mm-hmm.
They probably have to eat like a ton.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is nice. Look at that. Get all catch light in the eye there.
Oh, he caught the eyes.
Yeah.
I mean, because
that is
seen in his eyes.
Mm-hmm. There's Wes right there.
Yeah, I'm just right up. I'm about 6 inches away right there.
Right, exactly. Right, exactly. Yeah. Oh man, I couldn't be far enough away from that dude. Oh my God.
That's very nice. I like the nice and sharp. Lots of great detail on the snout.
These guys and like hippos got to be like really intimidating out in the wild, you know?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to get too close to this.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to get too close to. Nah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, just give me the longest lens with it. Mm-hmm. You know. Matter of fact, I'll just look at Wes's image.
Yeah. Stay away.
Yeah.
Molino, Pano, Santa Fe River, Old Town, before going underground. So is this on your way to St. Pete?
No, this is another park that's actually north of us here, about 45 minutes or so.
Neat.
Yeah, this is cool. I like you got different textures happening in the water.
Yep.
Been playing with that Sigma lens some more, and trying to get out with it. So
yeah, that's a nice landscape lens. It kind of gives you enough of a range to get good wide landscape shots.
Yeah, it's really sharp. So this is one thing that's nice about it.
Yeah.
Did you have a polarizer on it, or did you boost the blues a little bit there?
No, there's no polarizer. Just like adjusted the luminance a little bit.
Okay.
Actually, I had to pull back the greens for some reason. I don't know. Do you notice, Joe, your Canon camera like really overdoes the greens?
I do notice something like that. Yeah, there's.
Yeah,
I do notice something like that. There's.
I'm always pulling back on that green slider.
Yeah, it just comes up just being too saturated, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, the trees are really bright right now because everything is sprouting, but still, it just really overdoes them.
I don't have so much of a problem with green, but certain colors, are definitely, for me, it's, there's a lot of reds, oranges, and yellows in what I'm doing. So, with different skin tones and stuff. And then the blacks, sometimes there's some blue in there. So,
Yeah, this is nice. So it's running around and then it goes underground, huh? Ends up going.
Yeah, there's a spot where it goes underground, it goes down in the aquifer, and then it comes back up a couple miles away.
Sometimes I wonder if it's just not Lightroom. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, that might be it. Yeah, you might be right.
Sometimes I wonder if it's not Lightroom.
The way it reads the raw file is
the profile. Have you tried changing the profile in Lightroom?
I do, yeah, and sometimes I'll still go back to Lightroom's interpretation, just because I'm so used to it, and I don't want to start jacking with stuff.
Yeah.
I'm already used to the way I think it screws up.
Yeah, so
I already know what to tweak. Yeah.
You've just kind of you're used to the way it is, so you can make adjustments pretty quick, faster than you could by switching back and forth and seeing what's better. And yeah, that makes sense. Osprey. Oh, okay, so this was out on one of that barrier island. Oh, that's cool. Look at that.
Yeah, he got
like a fish head.
It almost looks like a burrito.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was when I first saw it. I'm like, what is these guys? Something wrong with his leg? And no, that's his food.
Easy.
Yeah. Look at those talons, though. Man.
He's like, what you looking at, fool?
That's great.
That dude looks pissed off, doesn't he? Yeah, he looks. Yeah. You want some of this? No.
They're pretty noisy. They were screeching at each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cool shot.
Yeah, it is very cool. You catch them, get them with some food, and they're munching on it. Very nice. Oh, great horned owl. Ooh. Look at him looking down at you. You see that eye looking down.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the only way you could see this guy is to get like right underneath where he was.
Yeah.
The way he was up in the tree.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, it's not a great angle, but.
Oh, so that branch right above him, that looks like above him, was actually blocking him. Is that?
No, I think it's above him.
Is it above him? Okay.
There were some other branches around that would block if you tried to move, further back or whatever.
How did you see him in the first place? Were you using binoculars to kind of scan around and see if you can see anything?
Somebody pointed him out. There was a bunch of birders and stuff.
That's the easiest way.
Go to the experts, huh? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you're just kind of around some nerds, and you're like, bird nerds, and they're, oh yeah, look at that guy,
Yeah, because they hide. I mean, we have them. I hear every night. I hear great horned owls, two or three of them in our area here, and we've only seen them once in the 11 years we've been in this house. I've seen them one time, hear them every night from basically October through April.
Yeah.
But I've never seen them.
Mm-hmm.
And they're in the backyard. I mean, they're so loud. I mean, I've gone out with them, but they just can't see them.
Mm-hmm.
They do so well at hiding, you know. It's no, that's a nice shot. I mean, I love that looking down at you. She's got that eye.
Mm-hmm.
And they're big birds too.
And the birders were joking with me. They were like, it was every time I pointed the camera at him, he would turn away.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, he's watching you. Every time you pick that camera up, he's looking away.
Yeah, that's.
What's cool about owls, though, when you spot them, they don't necessarily just run away right away. They don't.
No.
Mm-hmm.
They'll kind of stick around for a while, checking you out. Like they're checking you out more than you're checking them out. They're a really interesting creature.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of owls. Like, you know, around trucking, there seems to be like there's an owl or two you'll see them at night. And they're not shy. We get these little ones in our yard, and they're real small little owls, and they'll come out and they'll actually just sit right in the middle of the darn yard, right there on the damn, you know, and you're like, dude, I'm gonna run over you if you don't get out of the way, you know. And they just look at you, you know. What are you gonna do? You know?
Yep.
Yeah. Now these guys, little kestrels, they're tough to see too.
Yeah.
They're not that big.
Not familiar with.
They're about, what would you say the size? Not really a parakeet. They're bigger than that, but
yeah. I'm trying to think of, so like a little bit bigger than a dove, maybe.
Yeah. But they're very sleek too. I mean,
Yeah, this would be a good one, Wes. If you just completely blurred out everything except for that branch that he's on.
Mm-hmm.
I like this one. This one's
Mhm.
I like the colors on them and everything.
yeah, he's got some neat color in the beak and the, yeah. Yeah, that long lens is, you get a lot of use of that thing. It's full. Hey, look at that. It's not a 600mm lens.
Yeah. Just a wild azalea.
Mhm.
So,
It's fun to practice on flowers and stuff, and just trying to see how much of everything you can get in focus is kind of.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, it's you got this. Were you focusing on this primarily, or?
Yeah. I think I was focusing on the center of the front flower.
Okay. And it just happens to be along the same plane, yeah. Cool. Great images. And it sounds like you've got a lot more to
Yeah, I've got a bunch more to go through.
work on. Okay, cool. That is awesome. Great shots. Makes me jealous that I haven't been out with a camera in so long.
Embarrassing.
Yeah. I will have the opportunity in a couple weeks. I'm going to go up to I'm going to be going up to Pittsburgh for a couple weeks, so I probably won't do. I might miss a couple weeks of shows, like the first. Well, first is April 1st and April 8th. We probably won't have shows. I'm going up on the 29th and coming back on the 12th, I think. Yeah. So
We'll be gone on the 1st anyway. Also.
Okay.
So.
yeah, so I'll be gone for those 2 weeks, but I'm going to have some time to go out and with the camera. And I'm trying to decide if I want to take up a film camera or not. If I just want to do digital, I'm going to be flying, so I have to think about that. I got to make that decision this week, because I think what I'm going to do is if I do, I'm going to send the film up ahead of time. I'm going to mail it.
Oh,
I'm just mail it to my parents' house and then send it back, because I've been running into more and more hassle at the airport with film. So I'm thinking that might be the strategy. If we're not driving or if we're flying somewhere and I want to take film, I'm just going to send it somewhere ahead of time, and then send it back to myself, rather than dealing with trying to get through security and that type of thing, because it's getting seems like it's getting harder and harder. I guess it depends what airport you go through, but
What a hassle, huh?
yeah, yeah. I mean, they coming back from last time when we went up to New York last spring, they wanted to open up the boxes that I had both unexposed and exposed film, even though they were sealed. I had to pretty much talk them out of opening those up, and they asked me a bunch of questions as a result of that. But they're like, "Oh, got to open it up and see what's in there." And I'm like, "Well, if you do that, then."
Screwed, yeah.
Yeah, I said, if you have to, you have to. I can't stop you, but if you do that, then all my artistic is just gonna go away, and I'm just so. But yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on, the airport, but at that particular, and it was a little airport. It was the Albany. Maybe that was the problem.
Yeah, I think the bigger airports are easier to get through.
Yeah,
from my experience.
Yeah, it was a smaller local airport. And they were very serious. They made us open up the laptops, turn them on, make sure they worked. They had to make me take out the camera, the large format camera, and almost open it up and show them what it was. And
it's same exact thing. Last time I went to Lubbock, that's a tiny little airport in Lubbock, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And normally I open up my camera bag as long as I leave it open.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them are good. But no, in Lubbock, they literally wanted me to take out every piece of gear. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. I am not doing that. You know what I'm saying? That's just beyond ridiculous. I'm not going to put every camera, every lens in a different container for you. You want to look at it, then yeah, you can stop me and look at it. But
yeah,
I'm just not doing that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't had that yet. I've always had luck with putting it in the camera backpack and opening it up and putting it in one bin and going through.
Yeah, normally that's that. I was like, you got to be kidding me, man! I'm not taking a lens and putting it in a container. You know how many containers I'm gonna have going down here? This is
20 containers. Yeah.
Yeah, and then everyone, oh yeah, okay, that's what. Yeah, I could use that. You know what I'm saying? Like, no,
right? Yeah, that's not a good thing.
Yeah.
How about my security when I'm done with this? You know what I'm saying? How about that? How about that security?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's crazy. I get anytime I send any, because you put it on the bin and it's going through, and then you're not through the you're not through yet, so the stuff shows up on the other side before you get there, and I'm like, if it's just laying there, I get a little paranoid because stuff shows up and some random guy down there who sees what you have and gets in line ahead of you because of that. And then if it shows up, then they get it. They basically take it because they're not monitoring who takes what at the end. So I definitely get paranoid sending stuff ahead of me through the screening.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of money in the equipment, and you don't want to have some guy just walk off with it just because you weren't through the screener yet. So
yep,
not good. So anyway, yeah. So I'm hopefully when I'm up there for 2 weeks, whether it'll be film or digital, I will be able to get some photography in. So I'll hopefully get out and get some pictures of the hometown, which I haven't taken enough of. So I get some opportunity to do that. I don't know if I want to take my large format up, and I've got to make that decision this week. And that might be fun.
It's a curse, man, because I end up taking so many damn photos with my phone. It's like a hassle to even get any camera. You know what I'm saying? You're just like, God, because I can snap a halfway. It's not the best, but it's halfway decent. Edit it and post it, and it's out of my life. Like I'm done with it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, and I enjoy using the large format camera. I really do enjoy it. But yeah, you've really got to evaluate. Well, is this really something that I want to photograph or not?
Yeah.
Or take the time to go through all the steps that you need to with the large format, and a lot of times it is, but is it worth the I find myself just double and triple checking, making sure that it is worth the hassle to do this. And flying is with film cameras I think is getting harder going to be harder and harder. So I think my new strategy, like I said, is just going to send the film to where I'm going and send it back.
Yeah.
Without having to go through the airport. It's probably still, I don't know if it gets scanned or not, but it's probably better than at the airport. Or at least they're not going to open up the box, I would hope, and expose all that stuff. So, so yeah, we'll do a show next week, and then the next one will be probably the 15th, Tax Day. It'll be April 15th. Tax Day.
I know. I still got
still got to do it, Joe. Yeah.
My tax lady's across the street too, and I still haven't given her everything.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is you actually got a couple extra days because it does fall on a Sunday. I think they're going to give you till the 17th, either to Tuesday. I think they're going to give you. I think there's 2 extra days now, so you can actually wait until the 17th.
So you can just procrastinate longer.
Yeah, you could just wait until the extra day. Because wasn't it? Didn't you do it like the last 3 days last year? Weren't you down to like the final few days?
No, not quite that long, but probably just as close as I am now. But yeah, we definitely got in there. It was close, but it wasn't, super.
It wasn't like midnight on the 15th, getting a postmark so you can send it in and prove that you got it in. Yeah.
I think I still had another week or so.
Yeah.
It was close, but it wasn't. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, good show, guys. Wes, looking forward to seeing some more shots from your week off. So it sounds like you made good use of your time off. Got some trips and lots of photography, so that's always fun. So good. And Joe, I expect you to have lots of images next week. All right, get out with that.
I'm actually off next week as well. I was trying to figure out if I was even going to cancel ShareBear next week.
You're thinking of going somewhere or not?
I'm still thinking. I'll probably think all the way till I don't end up going. You know what I'm saying?
You don't have time to do anything even if you decide you want to. Yeah.
I'm like, so sometimes I just hate spending money that much. Not cheap, just I'm like, God, what do I, I'm like, I'm going to go somewhere and then what am I going to do? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just kind of get like that. When you're by yourself, it's like different,
Yeah. It might be fun just to do a staycation, hang out at home and relax and catch up on all the stuff you haven't yet watched. All the streaming stuff you haven't yet watched. It's going to be like, Joe, what did you do on your vacation? Well, I watched 100 hours of Netflix.
I bought this stupid Xbox, and all I've been playing on the Xbox is Solitaire.
But it's in 4K, right? 4K Solitaire.
It's the best looking Solitaire you've ever played. So ridiculous, man. Oh my God.
So do you have a game in mind, or do you have any other games for it at this point?
I downloaded some free samples so that I could possibly I might even after your show buy there is a GameStop and see what kind of used games that God, I hate to spend that kind of money on a game.
New games are so expensive. I mean, that's what's frankly stopped me from getting any kind of game system. Is the games are so expensive anymore.
And then like I'm finding out like I do have one game and it's a Tom Clancy. I'm a Tom Clancy fan.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought one game. Anyway. But I did buy one new game. You buy the game, you have the disc, and you still have to download. Like
always updates and stuff.
Yeah, you still can't necessarily play right away. You put the game in, and you have to download these things anyway. So I'm like, well, why even go buy the game?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make any sense. So, but
yeah, you buy the game and then you got to download all. Yeah. Got to download the game again to get it to the point where you can actually use it.
Yeah, because there's all these. Wes knows way more than I do. Hey, Wes, so do they have used games? Can I go to like GameStop?
Oh yeah. They're actually pretty reasonable too. I find if you buy a game that's not like brand new, something that maybe came out last year, you can buy for probably $20 instead of $60.
Yeah, I'm completely good with that. So
yeah.
Just looking for some more shooters to play and try to get into it because I suck. Oh my God.
You've lost your skills, Joe. You haven't played in Haven't played in a while.
all my skills, and so then let me just play solitaire, and I end up solitaire. I'm like, yeah, this was worth the $200 and some.
Do they have online? Do you have like competitive solitaire online?
I think they do, but I of course got a free version. So
okay, so you can do Xbox Live solitaire, and you can trash talk everybody as you're playing solitaire. I don't know.
Yeah, you're like, yeah,
take that.
Yeah, that's right. I got another ace. You know, yeah.
Take that ace and
It's like, I'm a loser. Yeah.
You need one good. Get like the game from last year used. And you can get probably for like $25, and that'll keep you busy for. You can rebuild your skills.
Yeah, I think I got. I forget the name of the game I got, but I'm just not that into that one. You know what I'm saying? So I really suck hard with that game. So I need to get and find another game that I'm.
Yeah, that you really want to play and get into and learn how to do right. Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, good luck on your quest, Joe.
I know, right?
And Wes, have yourself a good week. Get all those images edited and tossed up. That'd be fun. So yeah, we'll do a show next week, and then we'll probably end up taking a couple-week break until the 15th. So, and who won, Joe? Who won NASCAR update?
It was 78. He won. He ended up winning.
Truex?
Truex, yeah.
Okay.
No big crash at the end.
No, not at the end. No, there was a little crash. It was a 2-mile track today, so
okay.
Not a lot of like big, huge wrecks. I don't think. I didn't watch the whole race, actually. I'm a little guilty.
Okay.
But
okay, well, good one. I can sleep tonight knowing who won NASCAR, and I'm sure Dennis is going to tune into the show, and
he'll get his update that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kyle Larson, though, man, I got to tell you, man, that kid's good. I mean,
is he young?
Yeah, very young. Yeah, and he's good. He finished second, and I mean, he's right there every week, man. He's like, he's a natural. He's pretty damn good.
Good for him. Hopefully he makes a career of it. It sounds like he will.
Oh yeah. He's already been racing for a few years. But you know what I'm saying? He's already been in the big boys for a couple of years. So
okay, yeah.
He's building a name for himself, and he feels a lot like Jeff Gordon all over again. If you ever follow.
Oh, okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. They're kind of that same kind of way he's moving up through the ranks, and
he feels a lot like Jeff Gordon. He's just like a natural. He's pretty good.
Good. All right, Joe. Good luck finding your game.
All right, man.
Do that, and we'll see you guys next week.
All right, man.
Take care.
See you.
See you, Joe.
Cheers.
Bye.